Colleges are getting ready to welcome this year's freshmen. That means parents saying goodbye to their kids and in some cases their money as well because of unwise spending habits. Listen to what some students and their parents told us about how to avoid overspending.
Never to sign up for any credit cards because, you know, girls and credit cards don't really go well.
Unfortunately, when I have money, I tend to spend it. So I do my best to leave most of my money at home.
We have the savings account going on, but I haven't really learned much about it, I guess.
Well, her dad and I have already started an account for her so that she can start building her credit.
Work hard, earn your money, spend it wisely, and pay your bills on time.
Words to live by. Joining us now is personal finance expert Carmen Wong Ulrich. I always get that wrong. Author of The Real Cost of Living. Carmen, good morning. Good to see you here this morning.
Good morning,
I apologize. The first young lady who said something about credit cards and women, I heard you say under your breath, ain't that the truth?
Well, no. I think you laughed a little too hard.
I did.
But no, it doesn't have to be the case. But there were some wise words in there.
Keeping your kids financially sane when they go off to college, that is a daunting task. What would you recommend?
Oh, here's the thing. You really have to have a non-contentious discussion. Sit down with them. This isn't about yelling, no raised voices. Just lay out the expectations as to who is going to pay for what. Because think about all the expenses you're looking at. You're looking at not just tuition, room, board. You're looking at books, which can run up to almost $1,000 a semester. Meals, who's going to pay for the cafeteria versus the pizza? Clothing, gas, transportation, car insurance. The cell phone bill, that is a big one. You want to lay out what each of you is going to be responsible for paying so that you know the next step, what you need to budget.
Okay, so you put a budget together. How do you get them to stick to that budget?
Well, here's the thing. You want to put a couple things into place to help them to stick to that budget, right? So you want to set them up, of course, with some budgeting software. You can get a lot of free online budgeting software. You can find sites for that. If you want to pay a little bit, of course, there's some great budgeting apps that they may have more fun with and easier for them to use on their phone. And then also you want to think about where is the cash going to go? And that's the thing. The next thing is it's not so much saving, is how are they going to manage their own cash?
Should your child have their own debit card?
It's a dangerous, slippery slope, but here's my advice on that. I would love for them to have their own checking account and their own debit card, because this is going to teach them, this is a vital time to teach them how to budget. And a debit card is very useful for that reason. However, I recommend not signing up for overdraft, so that if they can't swipe it, then it says you have no money to swipe it. And overdraft can be a real slippery slope for overdrafting over and over and over again. So try to do that. And also in terms of debit card, you want them to stick to that and link your accounts. If you're afraid or they're afraid that they're not going to have the money or they're going to run out and you're nervous about that, you can link your accounts online as long as it's the same bank. And you could transfer money if you need to in an emergency.
I was going to say that's probably the best policy because you can dump whatever funds you need to dump into your kids'
as long
funds.
as they can't get into your funds.
Remember back in college, they used to send me a check.
Really?
$40.
Oh my gosh.
That was my stipend when I was in college.
ATMs?
$40. And I used to wait by the mailbox every week for that check. We talk about accumulating debt and all those credit card solicits that are out there for college kids. How do you get them to avoid that? They think it's great to have a credit card and all of a sudden this is like found money, but this could be
Well, here's the thing. With the Card Act that went through last year, there's a lot less of that credit card solicitation. There are many rules against that now. And also, if you're under 21 and you're a full-time student, you can't even get a credit card by law. But here's the thing. I'm not so much a big fan of that, because the biggest trouble is once they graduate, they don't have any established credit. So you want them to start establishing credit right away. And here's a good way to do that. Join up, sign up together for a low limit credit card. You want to make sure that limit is low so they can't do so much damage to get you into trouble. And that'll build their credit reports. Now, also, too, you can have also a secured card. If they want their own card and you don't want to be linked to them in any way, or maybe your credit's bad, a secured card is you put down some cash, right? And then you get extended credit. And it builds your credit, and the credit line gets open and bigger as the years go by, and they build their own credit.
And last question for you. Number one way students and parents can keep the cost of college down.
Here's a big secret.
Don't
the
go.
Number one way, no, you got to go, because you got to earn that money, but the number one way to keep college costs down is to actually graduate first. Second, to actually graduate within 4 years. Only 40% of four-year college students do that, and that's the number one way to keep the cost down.
All right, Carmen, great advice as always.
Thanks
so much. Good to see you.